Hi.
Hi, Archie. How are you?
Good.
That's great. How was sailing today?
Good.
Is this your first time sailing?
Nope.
No, you have done it before.
Yes.
Is it fun?
Yes.
Does your sailboat ever fall over?
Yes. Just today.
Did it fall
The
over?
first time.
Yeah. Did they do it on purpose?
Yes, the first
Did they do it on purpose or by accident?
by accident.
You know, when I was a kid and I
And here, I'm sitting on a boat and the boat just and I just swim over it.
yeah. When I was a kid and I learned how to sail, my favorite part of sailing was getting to, we would get going so fast, and I would sail with my friend. Her name was Yannicka, and we would get going really fast on this lake that we would, and it'd be really windy, and we would lean back as far as we could until we could, our butt was in the water. We'd be leaning way back so the sailboat would be like almost sideways, and we'd be going really fast, and it was super exciting. And then all of a sudden I would say, okay, let's tip it over. And then we would lean back just a little bit more, and boom, the whole thing would fall into the water. And I just had so much fun doing that. One day we did it 6 times. I just thought it was really fun.
And are your teacher mad?
Well, actually, yes. But the teacher, I don't remember where the teacher was. Like, we had maybe there was 5 sailboats, and there was 2 people in each sailboat, and we would go out on our sailboat on this lake, and we did not all stay together. And so I don't remember seeing my teacher, but I do remember that when we were all done and we came back to the beach, she was not happy with us. But
Is your teacher she or he?
a she.
Are your teacher?
Yeah. I went to a summer camp just for girls. So everyone was a girl, all the teachers, all of the campers. Yeah, it was really fun. Yep. All right, well, I will go ahead and share my screen here with you. We are at such an exciting place in our story. We are on chapter 11, I think. Oh, no, right before, the page before chapter 11. Okay, let's see what happened right before that. Oh, this is when Jack and Annie are leaving the 3 knights to rest. They're here very tired because they had been dancing for so long. And they have gotten from them all of the gifts they needed to get from the second rhyme. So they had the cup and the compass and the key. And now they are on their way to find the cauldron with the water of memory and imagination. So let's pick up right here. So Annie says, we'll find it. Read the 3rd rhyme. Jack looked in his notebook and read the 3rd rhyme aloud. If you survive to complete your quest, the secret door lies to the west. No problem, said Annie. We survived the guards and the dance. Now the compass can show us how to go west, and the key will unlock the secret door. She's really smart. She's really thinking about this. I really had not been thinking about what these gifts were for, but the compass can show you how to go west, and a key can unlock the secret door, and then they can use the cup to fill it from the cauldron with the water. So that sounds I feel like we're missing some things. What was, oh, the cloak. And then we had compass, cup, and key. Is that everything? Compass, yeah, cup, compass, and key. Jack still felt worried. A little too easy, he thought. What are we waiting for? Said Annie. Let's go. Jack looked down at the compass. Okay, he said. The pointer is pointing north, so west must be that way. He pointed left toward a thicket of bushes and small trees. Let's remember that when we're looking at a compass, if this is north, like to the North Pole, then this will be south, and this will be east, and this will be west. And that's the direction they need to go. Great, said Annie. Here, carry the cup in your pack. Jack put his notebook and the silver cup into his pack. Then he and Annie started into the thicket. A thicket is a lot of bushes that are so close together that you can't really see between them. They ducked under branches and pushed past bushes. Thorns scraped their hands. Twigs snapped against their faces. It would be really hard to walk through a thicket. Jack kept checking the compass. Could they really be searching in the right place? He wondered. What kind of door would they find in a tangled thicket? Listen, said Annie. It's so quiet now. The thicket had grown eerily silent. No birds called from the bushes. No music could be heard in the distance. This adverb right here is really a great word if you want your story to sound spooky. It comes from the word eerie. Eerie is a word that means kind of spooky. So if something feels eerie or spooky, then you feel like something's weird, something's not right. Why is it so silent? Just the feeling in the air is just like, I'm a little nervous. So it's strange if you're out in nature to not hear any sound at all, because you should hear the sound of the wind in the leaves or little animals scampering around under the trees or through the woods or through the trees or up the trunk of a tree. You should be able to hear birds flying and birds, chirping and going tweet, 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 chirp, chirp, chirp. And so for there to be no noise at all in the woods does not seem normal. Jack checked the compass once more. It says we're still going west, he said. I just hope this thing works. It works, Annie said softly. Look. Annie was holding back a leafy branch. She pointed to a rocky hillside beyond the thicket. Halfway up the hillside was a ledge. Between two giant boulders on the ledge was a shining glass door. That's a very, very odd to have a shiny glass door kind of halfway up a mountainside between two boulders. That does not sound normal. That sounds very, almost magical, very interesting. Chapter 3 is called The Crystal Cave. The secret door, whispered Jack. Yes, said Annie. Jack dropped the compass into his pack. Then he and Annie scrambled through the bushes and climbed up the rocks to the door. Annie took Sir Lancelot's glass key from around her neck. She slipped the key into the keyhole. She turned the key slowly. Clink! Yippee! Annie said softly. She pushed open the door. I think they should put the cloak on. Beyond the door was a huge glittering cave. Glittering means sparkling. Well, what sparkles? Things that sparkle would be like if you have crystal or diamonds that the sun is shining on, and it would make the, or have you ever been wearing a watch, and when the light hits the watch, you can turn it a little bit and it will send light around the room? That would be sparkling. This is glittering. I think of things that glitter are things like diamonds and gems, things like that. The floor, walls, and ceiling were made of clear crystal. So if you have a crystal and you shine like a flashlight on it, it's going to send light in all different directions. So this would be really beautiful. Jack and Annie stepped inside. The cave was filled with dancing streams of purple light. "It's so bright," whispered Jack. "Where's all the purple light coming from?" "There," said Annie. She pointed to a crack on the far side of the cave. "Let's look." Dun, 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 dun. They crossed the cave and peered through the crack into a room. Along the brilliant crystal walls of the room were 4 doorways. Sounds like a mystery. In the far corner of the room was a fire. The fire blazed with leaping purple flames. Over the flames hung a gleaming golden cauldron. "There it is," whispered Jack. "Wow," whispered Annie. "The cauldron with the water of memory and imagination," whispered Jack. "I know," whispered Annie. "Let's go." They squeezed through the crack, then walked toward the gleaming cauldron. Jack reached into his pack and pulled out Sir Galahad's silver cup. "The cauldron is too high," said Annie. "We can't get to the water." "Here, take this," said Jack, handing her the cup. "Climb on my back." He bent over and Annie climbed on piggyback. Jack stood up shakily. "Hurry," he said. "You're heavy." "I can't reach it," said Annie. "Move closer." Jack staggered forward a few steps. He's trying not to fall over with Annie on his back. Stretching as far as she could, Annie reached again. She skimmed water from the top of the bubbling cauldron, filling the silver cup. "Got it," she whispered. "Now set me down slowly." Annie held the cup with both hands. Jack slowly bent his knees and Annie climbed carefully off his back. They stared silently for a moment at the water of memory and imagination in the cup. It was clear and shimmering. Shimmering is another word for sparkling. "Now we can save Morgan," said Annie. Just then, it does seem a bit too easy so far, right? Just then, Jack smelled something strange. It was like the smell of rotten seaweed. He heard weird gurgling sounds behind them. He and Annie turned around. A giant, slimy, mud-colored creature crawled out through one of the doorways. The creature was long and scaly like a crocodile, but much, much bigger. It had wings that looked as if they'd been spun from 1,000 spider webs. It had glowing red eyes and long, curled claws. Ah! This sounds like
A dragon.
a dragon. Where am I? Ah, here we go. There it is. We can see the cauldron. That was really high. The Look, I think she would have had to almost stand on his shoulders. I don't know how she was able to get up that high to get the water. So you can see here she has the water in that cup. She's not going to want to spill it, but he doesn't really seem to look like he wants them to leave. Boy. Oh boy. The creature opened its huge jaws. Strands of drool dripped from its sharp, pointed teeth. The creature hissed, and hot blue flame shot from its mouth. Another monster crawled through a different doorway, quickly followed by a third and then a fourth. Yikes, said Annie. The real keepers of the cauldron, whispered Jack. So the keepers of the cauldron were not the dancers with the wings on their back. Boy, they are in quite a predicament. Here's the word predicament. This is a great word for what they are in right now. They are in a predicament. That's a problem where it's hard to think of a solution. It's hard to figure out how they are going to get out of this situation. So we better turn the page. Turning the page. Chapter 12, Fire with Fire. The four real keepers of the cauldron crawled closer to Jack and Annie, hissing and snorting blue fire. What do we do now? Whispered Annie. I don't know, said Jack. We're trapped. I have an idea, whispered Annie. Let's drink the water. I never would have thought of that. Would you have thought of that?
No.
I would not. What? Said Jack. It's the water of memory and imagination, right? Said Annie. So maybe if we drink it, we can imagine a way to escape. Imagine is when we use our imagination to come up with things that are very creative, that are things that other people might not come up with, just us. They're ideas from our own mind, our own imagination. That's crazy, said Jack. The keepers crawled closer, snorting more blue flame and filling the air with their rotten stench. Oh my goodness. Stench is a really bad smell. And I want to mention that a blue flame or a blue fire is the hottest kind of fire there is. So if you're watching a campfire and you see some fire that's yellow and orange and red and blue, the blue fire is the hottest. Okay, let's try it, said Jack. Annie took a sip from the silver cup, then handed it to Jack. His hands trembled as he held the cup to his lips and took a sip. This would be trembling hands. They're not staying still. Just kind of like this. The water tasted sweet, bitter, and spicy all at the same time. Jack gave the cup back to Annie. Now, imagine we are saved, she said. Jack closed his eyes. He tried to imagine being saved. He pictured the four keepers crawling back through their doorways. Okay, ready to fight? Said Annie. Jack opened his eyes. What? Fight? Annie set the silver cup on the floor. Now, she said. Suddenly, Jack felt like he'd been hit by a bolt of lightning. His fears slipped away. He was filled with strength and fury. Without thinking, he lunged with Annie toward the wood fire under the cauldron. They each grabbed 2 long straight branches from the edge of the fire. They raised them high in the air. The branches blazed with purple fire like flaming swords. Ah! Jack and Annie shouted. So you can see this looks very, this looks a little scary. This looks a little, what word would you use?
I don't know.
I would not want to be in their shoes right now. Now, this was not the water of bravery and courage. This was the water of imagination and memory. So I think if I was in their shoes, I would need to drink the water of bravery and courage so I would not be so scared. They said, ah, Jack and Annie shouted. It's kind of fun to try to say this right here. You want to try it for us? You're so quiet. All right. The 4 keepers hissed louder than before. Great balls of blue fire exploded from their mouths and nostrils. Jack and Annie slashed the air with their fiery weapons, jabbing at the keepers. They fought fire with fire, blue flame with purple flame. Back, back, they shouted. With each jab and shout, Jack felt stronger and braver. Waving their burning branches, he and Annie drove the keepers toward the walls. The keepers' blue flames grew weaker and weaker, as if they were running out of fuel. Finally, one by one, each keeper slunk back into the doorway from which it had come. When all the keepers had disappeared, Jack and Annie placed a burning branch in front of each of the 4 doorways to keep the monsters from coming back out. Then they brushed off their hands. Let's go, Annie said coolly. This coolly means that she's talking in a way where she is very calm. We say calm, cool, and collected. The 3 C's, calm, cool, and collected. It means that she's not falling apart. She's not worried. She's not freaking out. Jack nodded. Annie carefully picked up the silver cup of water from the cauldron. Then she and Jack squeezed through the narrow crack and strode through the bright crystal cave. Strode means walking. They walked through. They stepped out into the daylight. The glass key was still in the keyhole. Jack calmly locked the door behind them. He handed the key to Annie. Then Jack's knees gave way and he sank to the ground. He just lost his courage. He just finally, he made it through. They did what they had to do. He got back out. He turned the key and locked it. And then he kind of collapsed onto the ground with, whew, right? I hope I don't have to do that again. And you want blue? I hope you have a great night and I'll see you tomorrow, okay?
Okay, so long, Chip.
Yep. Bye, Archie.